Have you ever reached the end of your week, looked back and thought, where did all that time go? You planned to get things done, to read, to work out, to fix your relationship, to make progress, but somehow life just pulled you in all directions. If that sounds familiar, stay with me because what I'm about to share could completely transform the way you live, love, and lead your week. This video isn't about hacks or quick tips. It's about 10 brutal, Stoic habits that will organize your week for maximum results, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. These are the same principles that helped ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca live lives of clarity, power, and peace, even when their world was pure chaos. So before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video if you want to master your emotions, and watch till the end, because one of these habits could be the missing piece in your love life and your personal growth. Let's begin. Habit number 1. Start your week with radical reflection, the Stoic Sunday habit. Have you ever had one of those quiet Sunday nights where you're lying in bed, scrolling through your phone, and suddenly realize the weekend is over? Again, you think, I didn't do what I planned. I didn't call that person. I didn't fix that argument. And a wave of guilt just hits you. It's okay. We've all been there. But what if I told you that those quiet moments could actually become your most powerful habit? The Stoics had a ritual, radical reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, would spend his evenings alone writing about his day, not to show off wisdom but to understand himself. He would ask, what did I do well? What did I fail at? Where did I waste time? Now imagine doing that every Sunday night. Just you, your thoughts, and honesty. No filters, no pretending. You sit down and look at your week like you're looking at your reflection in a mirror. You ask yourself, did I give my best to the people I love? Did I react or respond when they hurt me? Did I grow or just go through the motions? Sometimes you'll realize you've been distant from someone who truly loves you. Sometimes you'll remember a moment you could have handled better, like when you let your ego ruin a peaceful evening with your partner. And sometimes you'll smile, realizing you did something right. You listened, you cared, you stayed calm. That's the beauty of reflection. It doesn't just organize your week, it heals your heart. Because love too needs reflection. You can't build a strong bond without looking back and asking, did I love well this week? You start to see patterns. Maybe you're too defensive. Maybe you avoid difficult conversations. Or maybe you forget to appreciate the small things. And when you notice these truths, you don't judge yourself. You guide yourself. That's what Stoics did. They didn't chase perfection. They pursued awareness. So before your next week begins, don't rush to plan your tasks. Sit with your thoughts. Reflect. Because a calm mind builds a powerful week, and a mindful heart builds an unbreakable love. That's how Stoics organized not just their time, but their souls. Habit number 2. The brutal habit of pre-planned discipline, the Stoic way. Have you ever noticed how some weeks just slip away? Like sand running through your fingers? You start Monday full of energy, but by Friday, you're exhausted and still wondering why nothing really moved forward. Maybe you promised yourself you'd hit the gym, focus on your goals, or fix things with the person you love. But somehow, everything stayed the same. Why? Because without a plan, emotions run the show. The Stoics believed true freedom comes from discipline, not desire. They didn't wait to feel ready. They designed their days before the world could distract them. Imagine this, it's Sunday evening, and instead of scrolling or overthinking, you take a notebook. You plan your week, hour by hour, goal by goal. You write down what truly matters: your work, your health, your peace, and yes, your love. You decide when to call that person you've been missing. You decide when to rest, when to work, and when to reconnect. Because if you don't plan your week, you end up reacting to messages, moods, and random chaos. You become a passenger in your own life. Think about your last argument with someone you care about. Did it happen because of something big, or because you were already tired, distracted, unprepared emotionally? Planning isn't just about time, it's about energy. When you plan your week, you protect your peace, and that peace protects your relationships. Seneca said discipline is freedom. And he was right, because when you control your schedule, you control your emotions. So don't let your week happen by accident. Plan it with purpose, because a Stoic doesn't just live the week, they lead it. And that's where peace, progress, and love truly begin. Habit number 3, begin with the end in mind. The Stoic visualization of mortality. Have you ever looked at someone you deeply love? Your partner? Your parents? Maybe even your child? And felt that quiet fear inside you? The fear of losing them one day. It's a thought we all avoid, but the Stoics embraced it. They called it memento mori. Remember, you will die. Sounds dark, right? But it's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Imagine this. It's Monday morning and you're already rushing. You barely said goodbye to the person you love. Maybe there was a small argument the night before. You tell yourself, I'll fix it later. But what if later never came? That's what the Stoics wanted us to remember, not to create sadness, but to inspire urgency. Marcus Aurelius said, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. So when you start your week, begin with that awareness. That time is precious. Would you still waste hours scrolling? Would you hold grudges? Or would you finally say what you feel, do what you dream, and love like it truly matters? Sometimes we treat people like they'll always be there. But what if this was your last week with them? Wouldn't you hug tighter, listen deeper, and speak softer? That's the gift of Stoic mortality. It doesn't make life shorter. It makes every moment richer. So plan your week like it could be your last. Work hard, love harder, and stop waiting for someday. Because one day, someday will be gone. Live like a Stoic, aware of the end, so you can finally start living fully. Habit number 4, the habit of emotional detachment. Respond, don't react. Have you ever said something in anger? Something you didn't mean, but it broke someone's heart anyway? Maybe it was during a fight with someone you love. A moment when emotions took control and words became weapons. Later, when the storm passed, you sat there wishing you had just paused. That's where the Stoics mastered what most of us fail at, emotional detachment. Now don't mistake it for coldness or not caring. No, emotional detachment means loving deeply, but not losing yourself in the storm. It's the art of responding, not reacting. Imagine this. Your partner says something that hurts. Instantly your heart burns, your pride flares up, and you want to strike back. But then you remember Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. So instead of replying in anger, you breathe. You give silence a chance to protect your peace. You ask yourself, is this worth losing the calm I worked so hard to build? Most relationships fall apart not because love fades, but because tempers rise. Because instead of understanding, we attack. But the Stoic learns to pause, to feel the emotion but not become it. Next time you feel misunderstood, remember, reacting is easy, responding is strength. Your calmness can disarm anger faster than your words ever could. And here's the truth, when you master your reactions, you master your relationships. You stop being a slave to mood swings, and you start becoming the peace your partner craves. That's Stoic love, strong, steady, and deeply human, Because sometimes the most powerful response is simply not reacting at all. Habit number 5. Prioritize silence, the power of the Stoic morning. Have you ever woken up next to someone you love and felt that peaceful stillness? Before the world begins, no noise, no messages, no rush, just the quiet heartbeat of the moment. That's what the Stoics called the power of silence. In today's world, the first thing we touch in the morning isn't our heart, it's our phone. We scroll, we compare, we panic, and without even realizing it, we hand over our peace to chaos. But Stoics knew something sacred. The morning silence shapes the rhythm of your entire day. Marcus Aurelius began each morning reminding himself, "Today I will meet people who are selfish, ungrateful, deceitful." He wasn't being negative, he was preparing his soul. Now imagine starting your day that way. Not rushing, not reacting, but sitting in quiet reflection. You make coffee, sit by the window, and just breathe. You ask yourself, who do I want to be today? Maybe you remember the last time you hurt someone with your impatience. Maybe you recall a moment when silence could have saved a fight. That reflection softens your heart. It teaches you that peace isn't found by avoiding noise. It's found by mastering it. And here's something beautiful. Silence can reconnect love too. Sometimes the most healing moments with someone aren't in talking, but in just being together quietly, holding hands, no words, just presence. So this week, give yourself the gift of silent mornings. No distractions, no drama, just you, your breath, and your thoughts. Because when you begin your day in silence, you carry calmness through every storm. And in that calm, love grows stronger, life feels lighter, and you finally meet yourself again. Habit number 6, brutal simplicity, declutter to dominate. Have you ever noticed how love, just like life, starts to fade when things get too complicated? At the beginning, everything feels simple. A message, a smile, a long walk under the stars. But slowly noise creeps in. Too many expectations, too many distractions, too much clutter in your mind. That's why the Stoics believed in brutal simplicity. Seneca once said, "It's not that life is short, it's that we waste much of it." And he was right. Not just about time, but about love. About energy, about focus. Imagine your week like a room. If that room is full of useless things, regrets, grudges, overthinking, there's no space left for peace or passion. It's the same with your heart. When you carry too much mental clutter, you can't give your best self to the people who matter. Ask yourself, how much of your week is filled with things that don't truly matter? How many hours do you lose checking who texted, who didn't, what others think, or what could go wrong? The Stoics would say, simplify ruthlessly. Focus on what truly moves your life forward, your purpose, your peace, and your people. Maybe this week, don't chase every plan. Pick 3 things. One that strengthens your mind, one that heals your body, and one that deepens your love. Give them your full attention, because simplicity isn't about doing less, it's about doing what matters most. And when your days become simple, your heart becomes lighter. You stop overthinking, start feeling, and suddenly as love feels beautiful again, not complicated. So declutter your week, your thoughts, your emotions, and you'll find what's been missing all along: peace, focus, and genuine connection. Habit number 7, the habit of honest self-talk, the Stoic mirror. Be honest for a second. When was the last time you truly talked to yourself? Not to judge, but to understand. Not the quick, I'm fine kind of talk, but the raw, real conversation where you admit what's hurting you and what you're avoiding. The Stoics called this the mirror of the mind, a daily habit of honest self-talk. Marcus Aurelius did it every night. He'd ask himself, Did I live today as a good man? Not to shame himself, but to stay awake to his truth. Now imagine this. It's late at night. The world is quiet and you're alone with your thoughts. You think about the person you love. Maybe there's distance, maybe misunderstandings. You wonder, was I kind enough today? Did I listen? Or did my ego speak louder than my heart? That's the Stoic mirror. It doesn't show your face, it shows your soul. Most people avoid this kind of honesty because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to see your flaws, your pride, your fears. But here's the secret. That's where growth begins. When you learn to talk to yourself truthfully, you stop needing validation from others. You stop lying to yourself about "I'm okay" when you're not. You face your emotions head-on, calmly, bravely, and with compassion. And something beautiful happens. Your relationships start healing too. Because when you're honest with yourself, you become more gentle, more patient, more real with others. So tonight, don't run from your reflection. Sit with it. Ask, did I love well today? That one question can change your life. Because honest self-talk doesn't break you. It builds you into the person you were always meant to be. Habit number 8. The Stoic habit of evening review. The reset ritual. Every night when the world goes silent and your phone stops buzzing, do you ever lie there, staring at the ceiling, replaying moments of your day? The things you said, the things you didn't. Maybe you remember how you reacted in anger to someone you love, or how you ignored that one message because your ego whispered, "Let them wait." Marcus Aurelius had a ritual for this, the evening review. Before he slept, he would sit quietly and look at his own soul like it was a mirror. He'd ask, what did I do well today? What did I do poorly? What could I do better tomorrow? Now imagine this. You had a fight with someone special. The silence between you feels heavier than words. Instead of drowning in guilt or pride, you sit down, close your eyes, and relive that moment. Not to punish yourself, but to understand. You ask yourself, was my reaction out of love or ego? That's the Stoic reset ritual, to end the day not with regret, but with awareness. Because when you practice this habit, every night becomes a new beginning. You start to see your mistakes not as failures, but as lessons written in your own handwriting. Slowly your heart becomes calmer. You stop chasing perfection, and instead you start building peace. So tonight before you sleep, look into your own mirror. Not the one that shows your face, but the one that reflects your heart. Ask yourself, did I love well today? Did I act with kindness or with pride? That's the Stoic way of resetting, to forgive yourself, to learn and to promise your heart, tomorrow, I'll do better. Habit number 9, the habit of serving others. Organize your week around purpose. Modern life teaches us to chase pleasure. Stoicism teaches us to serve purpose. Ask yourself, who can I help this week? It might be comforting a friend, mentoring someone, or showing kindness to your partner, because serving others gives your week structure, meaning. When your time is guided by purpose, not pleasure, you stop feeling lost. You stop overthinking. You start living intentionally. And here's the beautiful part. Love grows through service. When you give more, you connect more deeply, both with others and with yourself. So don't just plan tasks this week. Plan impact. Habit number 10. The Stoic habit of acceptance. Flow with fate. And finally, the most brutal Stoic habit of all, acceptance. You can plan every detail of your week, and life will still surprise you. Plans fail, people change, emotions shift. The Stoics called this amor fati, love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it. When your meeting gets cancelled, when your partner doesn't understand you, when your goals take longer than expected, Smile, not because it's easy, but because it's real. Every obstacle is part of your training. Every delay is part of your discipline. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means flowing forward. It's how you turn frustration into wisdom. So, when the week doesn't go as planned, don't curse it. Ask yourself, what is life trying to teach me here? That's the Stoic way to stay unshakable and organized, no matter what chaos comes your way. So let's recap. Organizing your week the Stoic way isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Reflect on Sunday. Plan with purpose. Embrace mortality. Detach emotionally. Protect your silence. Simplify your goals. Talk to yourself honestly. Review your day. Serve others. And accept fate with grace. If you live by these 10 habits, your week won't just be productive, it'll be peaceful. You'll stop chasing time and start mastering it. You'll stop reacting and start responding. And most importantly, you'll find a rhythm of calm confidence that makes people wonder, how does this person stay so centered? So take a breath, look at your coming week, and organize it like a Stoic. Because when you master your habits, you master your life. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.